The email arrived at 11:47. Subject line, "Your presence is required. 8 a.m. sharp." Natalie Crawford's hands trembled as she read the message from Charlotte Pierce, CEO of Pierce Industries. In 3 years of working as a software engineer, she'd never received a direct email from the woman who sat 30 floors above her cubicle. The woman whose reputation for dismantling careers was legendary. "Mom, you okay?" 7-year-old Tyler appeared in her bedroom doorway, clutching his worn stuffed elephant. Natalie forced a smile, closing her laptop. "Just work stuff, sweetheart, back to bed." She tucked him in, kissing his forehead. Medical bills from his recent surgery covered her kitchen table downstairs. Bills that required this job, this paycheck, this fragile stability she'd fought so hard to build after Tyler's father abandoned them. Sleep didn't come. At 7:58 a.m., Natalie stepped off the elevator onto the executive floor. Glass walls, marble floors, air that smelled like money and power. Her clearance badge beeped 3 times before granting access. Charlotte Pierce's assistant didn't look up. "Go in, she's waiting." The corner office stretched wider than Natalie's entire apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed the Boston skyline. Behind a desk that probably cost more than her car sat Charlotte Pierce. 42 years old, self-made billionaire, Forbes cover 3 times, known for acquiring struggling tech companies and either saving them or gutting them completely. "Miss Crawford," Charlotte's voice was ice wrapped in silk. "Sit." Natalie obeyed, pulse hammering. She dressed in her best blazer, the one with the small stain she'd tried to hide with a scarf. Charlotte's green eyes assessed her like a balance sheet. "Do you know why you're here?" "No, ma'am." Honesty, refreshing. Charlotte opened a leather folder. "Your employment file makes interesting reading. MIT graduate, top of your class, recruited by 6 companies. You chose us despite lower pay. Why?" Natalie's throat felt dry. "Stability, benefits, your healthcare coverage is exceptional." "Your son, Tyler, 7 years old, born with a congenital heart defect." Charlotte recited facts like stock prices. "Surgery 6 months ago at Massachusetts General. Success rate was 63%. You were a single parent throughout." The clinical delivery of her nightmare made Natalie's stomach twist. "How do you?" "I know everything about my employees, Miss Crawford, especially the talented ones." Charlotte closed the folder. "Your work on the Athena project caught my attention. The predictive algorithm you developed increased efficiency by 41%. Remarkable." Pride flickered before dread crushed it. "Thank you." "Yet you've refused 3 promotions in 2 years, turned down team lead positions, avoided leadership opportunities." Charlotte leaned forward. "Why would someone with your skills deliberately stall their career?" Natalie's fingers twisted in her lap. "Tyler needs consistency. Promotions mean longer hours, travel, weekend work. I can't. Can't or won't. Can't afford to risk what I have." Charlotte stood, walking to the windows. Her designer suit probably cost more than Natalie's monthly rent. "I'm restructuring the company, creating a new division, advanced AI development, 20-person team, budget in the millions." Here it comes, Natalie thought. The axe. They're consolidating, cutting costs. I'm gone. "I need a director," Charlotte continued. "Someone brilliant, someone who understands what's at stake when technology fails." She turned, backlit by morning sun. "Someone like you." Natalie blinked. "I don't understand." "I'm offering you the position, Miss Crawford, Director of Advanced AI Development. Salary tripled, full benefits, flexible schedule, remote work options." Charlotte's expression remained unreadable. "You'd report directly to me." The room tilted. "Why?" "Because 6 years ago my daughter died." Charlotte's voice didn't waver, but something shifted in her eyes. "Elena was 5, rare autoimmune disorder, misdiagnosed 3 times before the correct treatment was identified. By then, it was too late. Natalie's breath caught. Charlotte returned to her desk, opening a drawer. She removed a silver frame, turning it toward Natalie. A little girl with dark curls and Charlotte's green eyes smiled from the photograph. "Your Athena algorithm," Charlotte said quietly, "identifies pattern anomalies in medical data. If hospitals had access to that technology 6 years ago, Alina's condition would have been flagged immediately. She'd be 11 now, in 6th grade, probably driving me crazy about getting a phone." Tears pricked Natalie's eyes. "Miss Pierce, I'm so sorry." "I don't want sympathy, Miss Crawford. I want results." Charlotte's mask slipped back into place. "I've spent 3 years building the infrastructure for this division, recruiting specialists, establishing partnerships with medical institutions. But I need someone who understands the human cost of failure, someone who's sat in a hospital waiting room praying for their child's survival." Natalie remembered those endless hours. Tyler's small hand in hers, beeping machines, the smell of antiseptic. The surgeon's grave face before delivering good news that felt like resurrection. "You want me to develop medical diagnostic AI," Natalie said slowly. "I want you to save lives my daughter's death could have been prevented. So can thousands of others." Charlotte slid a contract across the desk. "This is business, Miss Crawford, not charity. Your skills are worth this investment. But I won't lie, I have personal stakes in this project's success." Natalie stared at the contract. The salary number had too many zeros. "I have conditions." Charlotte's eyebrow arched. "You're negotiating." "Tyler comes first. Always, if he's sick, I leave. School events, doctor appointments, I need flexibility." "Agreed. What else?" "I work from home Tuesdays and Thursdays. I pick him up from school every day at 3:30. "Acceptable. And I want final approval on all team hires. No corporate politics, no nepotism, best people for the job." Charlotte's lips curved slightly, not quite a smile, but close. "You have a spine, Miss Crawford. Good, you'll need it." She extended her hand. "Do we have a deal?" Natalie shook it. Charlotte's grip was firm, cool. "Yes." "Excellent. You start Monday. My assistant will handle the logistics." Charlotte returned to her computer, dismissing her. Natalie stood, legs shaky. At the door, she paused. "Miss Pierce, thank you." Charlotte didn't look up. "Thank me by succeeding, Miss Crawford. That's all I require." News spread through Pierce Industries like wildfire. The reclusive CEO had personally recruited someone from the lower floors, promoted her over dozens of senior engineers. Speculation ran rampant. Natalie's former colleagues congratulated her with thinly veiled jealousy. Her new team, hand-picked experts from Stanford, Johns Hopkins, MIT, regarded her with skepticism. She was young, unproven as a leader, a single mother who'd demand special accommodations. The first team meeting was brutal. "With all due respect," Dr. Marcus Webb said, "this project requires someone with management experience, field expertise, not just coding skills." Natalie met his challenge head-on. "You're right, I've never managed a team this size, but I've written algorithms that save time, money, and resources. This project isn't about management theory, it's about results. Can you deliver them, Dr. Webb, or should I find someone who can?" Silence. Charlotte, observing from the back of the room, said nothing, but Natalie caught the slight nod of approval. 3 months in, they hit their first major obstacle. The algorithm worked beautifully in controlled tests, but failed spectacularly with real-world hospital data. Too many variables, too much noise. Natalie worked 18-hour days, fueled by coffee and desperation. Tyler stayed with her neighbor most evenings. Guilt gnawed at her. "Mom, you're always working," Tyler said one night, voice small. She pulled him close. I know, sweetheart, I'm sorry. Is it important, what you're doing? Natalie thought of Charlotte's daughter, of all the children who might be saved. Yes, very important. Tyler considered this. Then it's okay, but can we have pancakes Saturday, just us? Absolutely. That Saturday, Charlotte called at 7 a.m. We have a crisis. The Boston Medical Partnership is threatening to pull out. They don't believe we can deliver. Natalie looked at Tyler, already mixing pancake batter. Give me 2 hours. The meeting is in 40 minutes. Then postpone it. 2 hours, Miss Pierce. I'll have your solution. Charlotte hung up without answering. Natalie set Tyler up with a movie, locked herself in her home office, and dove into the code. The problem wasn't the algorithm, it was the data structure. Hospitals stored information differently. She needed adaptive parsing. 90 minutes later, she had it. The meeting reconvened. Natalie presented her solution. The Boston medical representatives were impressed. The partnership held. Charlotte cornered her afterward. That was reckless. You could have failed. But I didn't. You prioritized pancakes over a multi-million-dollar deal. Natalie met her gaze. I prioritized my son over everything, just like you would have prioritized Alina. That was the deal, Miss Pierce. Take it or fire me. For a long moment, Charlotte stared at her. Then, incredibly, she smiled. A real smile that transformed her face completely. I chose well, Miss Crawford. Very well indeed. Their relationship shifted after that. Charlotte began stopping by Natalie's office, not just for updates but for conversations. She asked about Tyler, remembered details, sent him books on science and engineering. He wants to be an astronaut, Natalie mentioned once. A week later, a package arrived. A telescope, top of the line, the card read, for future astronauts. CP. Tyler was ecstatic. Natalie called Charlotte immediately. This is too much. It's a loan, Charlotte said. He'll return it when he's piloting the Mars mission. 6 months into the project, they achieved their first success. The algorithm correctly identified a rare blood disorder in a patient at Massachusetts General, a case 3 doctors had missed. Treatment began immediately. The patient recovered. Charlotte and Natalie stood in the hospital corridor, watching through the window as the patient laughed with her family. Alina would have been her age, Charlotte said quietly. Natalie took her hand. Charlotte didn't pull away. The project expanded. 5 hospitals, then 10, then 20. Lives saved numbered in the hundreds. The medical community took notice. Articles, awards, recognition. Through it all, Charlotte remained intensely private about her personal life. But with Natalie, walls gradually crumbled. Over late-night coffee in Charlotte's office, she revealed pieces of herself. The poverty of her childhood. Her mother's death when she was 16. Building her company from nothing, driven by rage and grief. I never let myself slow down, Charlotte admitted. If I stopped moving, I'd have to feel everything. And now, Natalie asked. Charlotte looked at her. Now I have a reason to feel. The kiss happened unexpectedly. Working late, alone in the office, celebrating another successful trial. Charlotte leaned across the desk to point at Natalie's screen. Their faces were suddenly close. Time suspended. Charlotte pulled back first. I apologize, that was inappropriate. No, Natalie's heart raced. It wasn't. You work for me. This complicates everything. Only if we let it. Charlotte stood, packing. You don't understand what you're saying. I'm your boss. The power dynamic. You're also a woman I admire, respect, care about. Natalie rose, crossing to her. Someone who sees me as more than a single mom struggling to survive. Someone who believed in me when nobody else did. Natalie. I know this is complicated. I know there are rules, protocols, potential scandals, But I also know that life is short. Alina taught you that. Tyler's surgery taught me. We can't waste time on fear. Charlotte's composure cracked. I don't know how to do this. Relationships. I haven't allowed myself to want anything beyond work for 6 years. Then we learned together. Their second kiss was slower, deeper, full of promise and terror and hope. They kept it quiet for 3 months, professional at work, private everywhere else. Charlotte met Tyler gradually, first as Mom's boss who stopped by with books, then as Mom's friend who joined them for museum visits, finally as someone who mattered. "Do you love her?" Tyler asked one evening, direct as only children can be. Natalie chose honesty. "Yes, is that okay?" Tyler thought carefully. "She makes you smile more, and she's really smart, and she likes science." He paused. "Does she love you?" "I think so." "Then it's definitely okay." The announcement came at the annual Pierce Industries Gala. Charlotte, in a stunning silver gown, took the stage for her keynote address. Natalie sat in the audience, Tyler at her side in his first suit. "Tonight, I'm pleased to announce the formal launch of the Alina Pierce Medical Foundation," Charlotte began. "Dedicated to advancing diagnostic technology and saving lives. This foundation exists because of one woman's brilliance, dedication, and courage." She looked directly at Natalie. "Dr. Natalie Crawford, would you please join me?" Natalie's breath caught. "Doctor." Charlotte smiled. MIT agreed. Your work on the Athena project and its medical applications warranted an honorary doctorate. Congratulations, Dr. Crawford. Applause thundered as Natalie walked to the stage, Tyler bouncing excitedly in his seat. Charlotte handed her a plaque, then added quietly, "There's one more thing." She pulled out a small box. The room went silent. "I've spent 6 years building walls," Charlotte said, her voice carrying across the ballroom. "Protecting myself from loss, from pain, from love. Then you walked into my office, terrified, broke, desperate, and you changed everything." Tears streamed down Natalie's face. "You showed me that strength isn't about walls. It's about opening yourself to risk because something matters more than safety." Charlotte opened the box, revealing a diamond ring. "Natalie Crawford, you and Tyler have become my family, my reason to feel again. Will you marry me?" Tyler stood up, shouting, "Say yes, Mom." Laughter rippled through the crowd. Natalie pulled Charlotte close, whispering, "Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes." They married 6 months later in a small ceremony. Tyler walked Natalie down the aisle, beaming with pride. Charlotte's vows made everyone cry. "You saved my life," she said, holding Natalie's hands. "Not metaphorically, literally. You reminded me that surviving isn't living, that love is worth the risk of loss, that Alina's memory is honored not by grief but by joy." The foundation flourished. Within 3 years, their diagnostic AI was implemented in hospitals across 30 states. Thousands of lives saved. Countless families spared the agony of preventable deaths. But the greatest transformation was personal. Charlotte, once known as the Ice Queen of Boston Tech, became famous for different reasons. Her philanthropy, her advocacy for working mothers, her visible, unapologetic love for her wife and son. Tyler thrived, pursuing his astronaut dreams with Charlotte's enthusiastic support. She attended every science fair, every school play, every soccer game. The woman who'd forgotten how to feel learned to love fiercely. On the 5th anniversary of that first terrifying email, Natalie woke to find Charlotte watching her. "What?" she murmured sleepily. "Just remembering," Charlotte said. "The day I called you to my office, I thought I was offering you a job. I didn't know I was meeting my future." Natalie smiled. "Best email I ever received." "Even though you were terrified." "Especially because I was terrified. You taught me that the things that scare us most are often the things that save us." Charlotte kissed her softly. We saved each other. Down the hall, Tyler's alarm beeped. Another day beginning. Another chance to build the life they'd fought for, through loss, through fear, through the courage to believe that broken hearts could heal and second chances were real. Sometimes the most terrifying moments lead us to our greatest blessings. Sometimes the email we dread opens the door to everything we never knew we needed. And sometimes, love finds us in the last place we thought to look, in a corner office, 30 floors up, where two broken women discovered they could be whole together.